Next up in the workshop, we're going back to the 90s. Sort of. It's Starcraft, the tabletop board game. Hey guys, welcome back to the workshop. We are continuing to work on Zeratul from the Starcraft Tabletop Miniatures Game, put out by Blizzard Entertainment and Archon Studios. So, let's get back at her. While you were away, I worked on them a little bit, and I brought up the armor. I still have to finish the ribbons here, but that's okay. And you can see that I glued him to the base, because the base I finished as well. So he's coming along. Now the next up, and I also finished the head, which will slide ever so nicely. There we go. That looks pretty cool. But we're not here for that yet. There's some jewels that we're going to start with on the main body before we get to the main event. I hope it's going to turn out anyway. So let's get at her. I am using Caliban Green to base coat the jewels, and then we're going to kind of work it up. Now we're gonna get out make it look big. Yeah. Make it look bigger glasses, so that we can do just that. Make it look bigger, and then I can make sure that I'm doing things nice and tidy, or as close as I can. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's one on his chest here, as you can see, but most of it will be hidden by the head. But you will be able to see some of it. Here we are. I'll do some of it. The ones on the shoulders. A little bigger. Go. And then there's one here. There we go. Let's see. Oh, that's right. There's one on his back as well. Go. And while we're at it, we're going to start the process of the OSL with the loincloths that are, or the tabards that are here. Right? Yeah, here. So, let's gonna look at the picture and try my best to emulate it. Again, we're gonna kind of start with the dark green. And we're going right over the purple that we put out before, and that's all right. And there's the start. So now that we pretty much have that base color down, at least on the figure, not on the capes yet. We're going to keep this bad boy right nearby, but we're going to move to this one here. It's our precision detail. going to move to Warpstone Glow. Look at that. The paint tried to eat me. Oh, tried to eat my paintbrush. Alright. And very gently kind of on the bottom part of the stones, or whatever. And we're just kind of moving along as best we can. Oh, I forgot one. I'll have to go back and fix that. There we go. Now we're going to take a quick snap back to the Caliban green because I forgot a jewel. It's right here. There we go. Well, we're back to the Caliban green. I am going to put a very, very small amount right here. And if I get it too thick, that's okay, because it's going to be mostly covered over by a brighter green. So that's okay. Basically, now it's working up different the different greens that are coming from um, the wrist weapon, whatever it happens to be. Gonna need a bit of the warpstone glow for the next part. I'm gonna thin it out. Hopefully it'll let some of the darker green come through. Not quite as translucent as I was hoping, but you know. Oh, what are you gonna do? Besides, you know, start back at the beginning. Alright, we're gonna let that dry. A little bit of the brighter green. So, even though I really haven't done my own objects, the OSL anyway, there is a few things that I can pass on about it. And the first thing is that you have to imagine where and what your light source is going to hit. You know, where your shadows are, where your lightest parts are. What kind of highlight are you going to need? Like how bright of a color are you going to need? Or are you just going to put kind of like a little white highlight on it because, you know, your light is that bright? So I'm working with a fairly thin down warpstone glow, and I'm kind of building it up and trying to keep it nice and smooth and fade it out near the back. And when we get to the cape, it's going to be all basically the same thing. Now, here on the wrist weapon, it's going to be a very bright green, almost all around, but it's still nice to give it a kind of a base to work off. So you can use a little bit thicker of a paint. I mean, this part right here is less important to be done. I mean, the cape's gonna pretty much cover what you're painting here. And then that dark green that we put in there, we're gonna bring it down with the mid-tone green, the warpstone glow. We're gonna bring it down so that it's more or less just in the crevices at the very bottom. we have, don't forget that there's a hand here too. The hands is pretty much going to be the nice bright green eventually. There we are. Now the cloak, or not the cloak, but the tabard. You can always build it up. You need a little bit more. There we go. And that's the start. It's beginning to look like the picture. I've added a few more highlights, but for the most part, it's coming out about the same, which is awesome, because that is exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, so from here, we are moving on to the next highlight, which is moot green. And as you can see, my old colors are Citadel colors, the new colors are Warhammer colors. No difference, just a brand change. That's it. And this one is a little bit more takes a little bit more. Well, it takes a lot less paint, but it takes a little bit more finessing. So I'm going to turn the light on, blind everybody, and but that's so that I can see exactly what I'm doing and where I'm excuse me, where I'm putting the paint. things are coming. Things are coming together. Huh. Okay. Okay. I thought I got stuff done, but I didn't. But that's okay. We'll go back and fix that in a minute. Right now, it's what I'm doing is I'm just applying the brightest green to kind of to the edge. Some of the, trying to leave the darker greens. And I might just add the bears. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go back one color. We're going to go back to the to the warp stone glow. Because I forgot some stuff. I forgot. I forgot a few of the gems, and that just is not right. There we go. Just let that dry up just a little bit. While we're waiting for that to dry up a little, I'm going to go back to the hand. We're gonna give it the highlight it deserves. There we go. Well, the other stuff should be dry enough now. So what we do ever so. we are. That's pretty good. I think. All right. Then we're doing pretty good. Okay. Try and remember where the brush tip protectors are. Okay, so kind of see where the the energy blast, and you can see the spots where I've added the green on the hand, up on the weapon itself, and then of course all of the every now and then I find that sweet spot where everything is in focus, and then I lose it. Oh, there we go. And you can kind of see where the highlights on the jewels or whatever they are. And so now we're moving on. Now with that done, we can actually put the head on. So we're going to grab a little bit of glue, grab the head, put a little bit on the head itself. And we are going to put the head on our warrior. There you go. And now we have the head on. The last pieces we have to put on are the capes, the cape pieces. But for that, that's going to be a fun exercise. Now, most of the cape is going to be green, because that's the side where the weapon is. So what we're doing, getting some more of the Caliban green. And we're looking at where they have the green on the picture. just gonna try and follow their lead. A lot. Okay. And again, we're just kind of following along the way the picture shows. Now, normally I don't do OSL, but so I've never really had an opportunity to try. But I figured with this one, and because it shows it so nicely on the box, that I would, I'd actually give it a try. It's just, fantastic. And when you're also doing OSL, you have to kind of remember the orientation of the piece that you're doing. As maybe the shadow or the light doesn't actually fall there, or doesn't fall as heavy. Which would be sad. So all this is just building up. To a point where, it's nice and solid, but yet but yet transparent, or at least in parts. mean, most of this is going to be covered over with the next green anyway, but some of it won't. And this also gives you a nice base for the other green. Which is kind of what you're looking for. Okay. We are going to go overtime today. We're not going to be just the 1 hour, but it shouldn't be much longer than the 1 hour. Okay, Caliban green is set aside. Now we're going to start with our warp glow, which tried to eat me the other earlier. So I'll turn. I'm going to keep its mouth open. It's probably too much paint, but that's okay. Clean the brush, which is done off screen because you don't need to see that. Water down, thin out the green. Okay. So our point of most of it is going to be this color. And we've done this, or I've done this, so that I can so we can slowly build it up. I've left the wings apart off the miniature so that I can get into the weird spots, and I'm not gonna mess up the paint job that, it's already been done. And all we're doing is just building up the colors, making it a little bit more solid. And just kind of work the colors, try and get it as nice and solid and smooth as you can. Looking good. All right. This is just one of the more finicky things. But if it's done right, hopefully it'll look excellent. It's about just taking your time and letting things dry and then moving on while you're letting things dry. We're getting there. We are indeed getting there. Like I said, it's just making sure to try and get your paints where they belong. And then build up your colors until you get them either basically where you want them or right where you want them. I think that's looking pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the moot green. And we are going to start picking out just smaller details. And hopefully things will turn out quite well. Again, this will be the same thing. Kind of start. Now, of course, I've lost the line of where the there we go. And now we go with the bright green. And here's where we start really figuring out your shadows. It's just kind of the same deal. Just work a thinned out bright green. And then you just start solidifying more. Where you need it. And leave the other colors, the other greens, kind of poking through. Or maybe, you know, bring it up a little bit, but not all the way. Really, all it is just keep working it up. Make it smooth. This way you can start really picking out the folds and picking out where the brightest greens are going to be. And, you know, if you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. You tried. You know, maybe you're like me and you've never done this before. But you're trying. And that's a good thing. It shows that you're growing, that you're trying, that you want to try and build new skills. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to do stuff like this all the time. Doesn't even... No, but every now and then, for a special character or, you know, the centerpiece for your miniatures, that might be a time to pull out all the stops. Now, like it's your, if you have an army, because you might just do this as a hobby, and as a hobby, maybe you want to do the object source lighting stuff, because it'll add that little extra. Alright, nothing wrong with that. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Okay, now comes the moment of truth. Let's put the rest of this together. Interesting. Okay. Now we're going to put the cape on. Pull out the handy dandy paint, or the glue. And should start with this one, the one that you just painted. Because of the way the capes sit, if you put the other one on, this one will be really difficult to get in. That doesn't look half bad. Huh? Nice. Well, let's put it in, let's put on the other one. And then we can call this miniature done. And we can move on to something else. go. Just wait a second or two for it to start, for the plastic to start melting together. Not quite ready. There we go. Here we are, just waiting for the glue to dry. But what I can tell you is that Archon Studios did a fantastic job of this miniature. Not terribly hard to build. Excellent detail on it. It was, it was fun to build. Fun to see how it, all came together afterwards. And that's our guy. That's Zeratul from the Starcraft Tabletop Miniature Board Games by Archon Studios and Blizzard Entertainment. So there we are. And now we just set him off to the side to dry, solidify up, and then on to the next project here in the workshop. So stay tuned. All right. But in the meantime, stay safe, be safe. Most of all, paint safe. And we'll see you next time in the studio.